Hello, I'm Ian, and today I'm going to be going over the differences between the A4 style carry handle by Colt and Chinesium NC Star knockoff. Side by side, they look pretty much the same, but there's quite a few differences in them. The Colt is very well rounded on all its edges to reduce the chance of catching. Right here. Meanwhile, with the NC Star, everything's more square and blocky. So this is thicker and more squared off. These little mounting points are still square, kind of sharp. For these screws, the ones on the Colt are a bit smaller in length than the ones on the NC Star, but not by much. The NC Star ones are remarkably thicker, and they stick out just ever so slightly more when screwed all the way down. On the bottom, these little bars that go in Picatinny slots are much thicker than the ones on the NC Star, and as you can see, this one's the Colt. Those are just a little bit taller than the ones on the NC Star. The ones on the NC Star, it looks almost completely flat, like it wouldn't grab up on much. So this will occasionally slip past some of the Picatinny rails because there's not much material for those rails to bite on. For the apertures, both of them look very much the same, but the hole on the Colts is actually slightly larger than the one on the NC Star for the precision one. So when you look through the NC Star one, everything's a bit blurry because it can't let as much light through. However, the close range sights are very much the same. And both are marked with the 0 to 200, even though the Colt one is a little more well detailed and it's kind of recessed in. The NC Star still has it, and they both have the windage marks. Another difference is on the Colt one, the 0 to 300 is there. Have you noticed while it's at 300, this is flush at the base. That's supposed to be its lowest point. With the NC Star, it's currently set to 600 because, that's the wrong way. I'm unable to get it to the 300. It won't sit flush. It gets stuck. So you probably set it at the 400 mark for 300. Another issue is this spring is much weaker than the one on the Colt. So whenever you fire with the NC Star one, it kind of shakes around a bit and isn't nearly as precise because it's going to end up in a different position each time. Meanwhile, the Colt one will always kick back to the left. For the windage, the Colt one, you can feel it move, and there's a small click, but it's not very audible. It's just, you feel it. With NC Star one, there's a very audible click. The adjustments are the same though. As far as appearance goes though, if this is just for a prop or just like an airsoft gun or something, both are fine, and one costs a huge fraction of the cost of the actual Colt one. I would not say a Colt carry handle is worth $150. If anything, I'd probably pay about $30 for a piece of metal carry handle. But looks fine, stays on there. That's the Colt. And then see Star. Stays on there. It's relatively tough. However, when the screws loosen up, it's going to slide around a bit because it has nothing to bite onto. But as far as function goes, for the most part, the NC Star does 90% of what the Colt one does for almost nothing compared to what they want for the Colt carry handle. Last note, as far as resisting rust, they both resist rust exactly the same. The finish on the Chinesium one is just as good as Colt's. We live in a humid environment, and these both are outside, but they're both fine. They're both exactly the same in that aspect. Well, bye.